What's going on, drivers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper. If you're new to the channel, smash that like and subscribe button. It helps me out, helps the video out. I sure appreciate that. We're going to be talking about oilfield trucking, how to get into it, different types of oilfield trucking jobs that there are, and how to transition from over the road, all that kind of stuff. Going to talk about my experience, how I transitioned a little bit. We're also going to talk about different oilfield companies. I'm going to give some that I know of that are down in my area. Some of them I know personally, know the owners personally. They're good people. And if you're thinking about getting in the oil field, maybe this will help you make your decision. If you're an over-the-road driver and you're thinking about trying to get a life and get more home time, make a little bit more money, then maybe this will help you out with that. If you know somebody who's going through that or thinking about it, send them this video. It might help them out. Anyway, let's get into it. You got different types of oil field jobs. You got water haulers. You got frac sand guys, not only that haul frac sand, but also that work the wells. They all have CDLs. You got heavy equipment haulers. You got rig movers. I mean, you name it, there's a ton of it. Almost everybody in and around the oil field has a CDL. Just about everybody. Most of these jobs require a CDL. Some require a little bit more physical labor than others, and we'll get into that here in just a second. Now, if you're a tanker driver over the road, or you are a flatbed hauler over the road, you can basically transition into the oil field and do the exact same thing you're already doing, only making a little bit more money and getting home time. And most of the work pays by the hour. Some companies pay by the load, but a good majority of the companies out here pay by the hour, which is awesome because you're getting paid whether you're sitting there, whether you're going, whether you're getting fuel, whether you're asleep, whatever the heck you're doing, they're paying you by the hour. And that's pretty awesome too. And if you get paid by the load, that's great too, because some of these loads pay quite a bit more than over the road loads, regular loads do. So your percentages will be quite a bit greater. Let me just put it that way. It'd be quite a bit more money. Now, myself, I spent many years over the road, and when I went over the road, I went through a divorce at one point. I got rid of everything at home at one point and thought, well, there ain't no sense in having an apartment. I'm only going to be in it 3 days a month. Basically, I lived in my truck, and then when I would take time off, I would just go rent a hotel room and rent a car for my time off. And I lived like that for many years. So when I decided I wanted a life, I was ready to date again. I was ready to have all those things that normal folks have that's really hard to do if you're over the road on any kind of normal level at all. When I reached that point, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have an apartment. I ain't got a car. I ain't got nothing. How do I do this? How do I transition? Well, it's really not that hard. You make it harder in your mind than what it really is when you're over the road. You overthink it way too much. Most of these oil field companies got sleeper trucks. You can stay in your truck until you get a place. And even if you go to work for a company that doesn't, say like Chalk Mountain, Chalk Mountain, they got day cabs. They go home every day. There's cabins you can rent, pay by the week. Doesn't matter what your credit is. Doesn't matter what your rental history is. You don't even have to have any rental history. You can get a hotel room and pay by the week. There's all kinds of options there you can do until you get a regular apartment or find you a house to rent or whatever the case may be, or you move in with a girl or whatever happens, right? So don't overthink it. Those options are there. And most of these oil field companies know when they're bringing drivers in from over the road that these over the road drivers that are coming in are not set up like these local guys already are. And a lot of these local guys started out that way. They will work with you and guide you and help you. And some of them, I know even Chalk Mountain will even help you find a place to rent. A lot of the guys that work there will, stuff like that. Let's say you are a dry van driver or a reefer driver over the road. You've never hauled tanker. You ain't never done flatbed. You've never done oversized, nothing like that. And you want to get a life and you want to get off the road too. And you'd like to break out into the oil field, where you can be home a little bit more often and make a little bit more money. Most of these companies will train you. And most of these guys that work out there will help you. That doesn't mean you're going to go ride with a trainer. It doesn't work like that. They'll put you in your own truck. You'll follow somebody or they'll follow you. They'll help you tie your loads down, help you get started, teach you how to do the work. If you're running tanker, they'll teach you how to offload it, how to load it, what to watch for, how to vent the trailer, all that kind of stuff. Hauling tankers is really not that hard. It's just a lot more shaking going down the road is all it is, because you get the liquid back there. swashing back and forth. It'll push you a little bit, but other than that, it really ain't that hard at all. So if you're worried about that, nothing to worry about there either. All right. So let's get into these trucking companies that I know of that hire drivers and will work with. All right. Now you got Chalk Mountain. I'm gonna put them in here first. You got Chalk Mountain. Chalk Mountain, I think, is paying $83,000 or $85,000 a year, something like that. Chalk Mountain pays very well. They drive to the sand, they get loaded, they drive to where the frac site is and unload. They never even have to get out of their truck. It's all done on a hopper now. It's not done on pneumatics, so they're not out there unloading anything. Literally, they just got to drive back and forth. That's all they got to do. They work a 12-hour shift, and then they go home. Now, you got to start on nights and then work your way around to days. They work 4 days on, 2 days off, and you can work an extra day if you want. The other thing that Chalk Mountain does is, let's say you come in for your shift, and maybe the frac site went down, so they're not needing as many trucks, and they send you home. They still pay you for that day. You still get paid for those 10 hours. You showed up for the safety meeting, they sent you home. You worked an hour, you got paid for 10. That's something that Chalk Mountain does, and they do pay by the hour. All right. And on their website, they will tell you they don't offer housing, but they do know of housing, and they will put you in the right direction. They'll help you out. Them guys are used to bringing guys off the road that have been over the road. So if you want to get off the road, they're a good company to call. They got locations all over the country, and you've probably already seen, I put their number up here where you can reach out to these guys at Chalk Mountain. No, I do not know these people personally. I know some drivers that work there, but I don't know the owners or anything like that at Chalk Mountain personally. But the drivers are very happy. It's a very good atmosphere. They take care of their drivers. They take care of their trucks. It's a good place to work from what I understand. I've never personally worked there. Next up, we got Dalton Trucking and Crane. Dalton and Trucking and Crane, I did work for a while. Pretty good company. I wanted to go into hauling chemical tankers. My mom had passed away and different things like that. That's why I'm not there at the present time. But I do know the owner over there and most of the people in the office. Really good people. I mean, just really good people. They will work with you in any way, shape, manner, form, or fashion. Dalton does a lot of, everything's flatbed work over at Dalton. But they do a lot of rig moves. They do a lot of oversize, moving coolers, moving different types of oil field equipment. Pretty much anything the oil field needs moved. One good thing about working at Dalton is if you've ever wanted to be a crane operator, which crane operators make pretty dang good money. I know one that's making $40 an hour. I know most of them are in the upper 30s. They make really good money. And they don't have to work all that hard. It's still sitting in an air conditioning cab, right? So if you've ever wanted to be a crane operator or tried to figure out how to become a crane operator, that's a good company to go to work for because they will train you. If that's your goal and ambition is to become a crane operator, they will train you. They have cranes there. They also have pole trucks there. They also got tandems. They'll train you on whatever it is you want to learn to make more money. Winch trucks, they got them. Or if you just want to run a regular flatbed, they got those too. If you've never hauled oversized and you want to get into hauling oversized, they've got that there too, and they will teach you how to do it. They don't have a problem giving you a shot. They used to let me haul oversized stuff when I hadn't hauled that type of stuff. They do not mind at all. Really good owner. The owner, I'll tell you how good this owner is. His house is right next to his office, right next to the yard. So when you go in the yard, park your truck to go home, his house is right across the grass. There is nobody out there in their right mind that's shady or ripping their drivers off where you're going to see their house right next door to where their office is. Now there's a lot of companies out here that'll rip you off, but I guarantee you that's not one. His house don't even have a fence around it. You can walk from the yard and walk over to his house. And if you smoke a cigarette, it's so close that you won't even finish your cigarette before you're at his front door if you walked from your truck. So, and it's a nice house. So he's really good people. He treats his drivers really well. He tries to take care of them the best he can. And if you're coming off the road, he will work with you. He will help you out and guide you in the right way. So will the other guys that are there in the office. I really highly suggest this company if you're looking at getting off the road and you want to get a life and make a little bit more money and be taken care of. Another one is W&W. W&W is pretty decent. They do pretty much the same thing Dalton does. Same kind of work. They're pretty much Dalton's arch nemesis, if you'd like to say. They are the direct competition to Dalton. You give them guys a call, they'll take good care of you. Another one is Allgayer over here in El Campo. They take good care of their drivers. I do know the owner over there, Jeff, pretty well. I've known him since 2013. I did rig moves with him when the oil field was kind of booming. And then in 2014, when the oil field crashed, I went my separate way because he really didn't have a whole lot of work at that time. But he hauls dirt. He still does a little bit of the rig stuff, still does a little bit of the flatbed stuff. He's got a little bit of everything. Plus, he has a wrecker service. you know, so I'm sure if you're into wanting to learn about that, he'll be more than happy to put you with the guys that teach you about that. Now, those are some of the companies I know of. That's their phone numbers. And like I said, I told you, the ones that know me, you want to call them and let them know, hey, I sent you that way. Let them know. They don't pay me nothing. I don't get paid anything. I'm not a recruiter. I'm a driver out here. And the company I work for is not even up there. I haul chemicals. It's kind of a specialty thing. And wasn't really a point in putting it up there unless that's what you're into. You'd have to have experience hauling chemicals. And we don't have any open trucks here at the moment anyway, so I didn't want to waste anybody's time. Do you know these other companies have openings? They are hiring if that's what you're looking for. Now, here's the main thing, driver. I know what it's like to be out there and over the road. I know what it's like to overthink. I know what driver depression's like. I know what it's like to feel like you're stuck and you can't get out of it. I'm here to tell you I've done it. You can get out of that circle. You can get off the road. You can get you a local job. You can get you a job where you're home more. You can get a life. You can develop friends again and have a somewhat normal life, you know, have barbecues at the house and friends coming over. It's freaking great. All the things that you miss in life when you're over the road, you can have, you know. And as y'all know, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, I try to help drivers as much as possible. And I hope this video helps you, at least gives you some ideas. You can jump on Google, you can jump on Craigslist, and you'll find plenty more jobs. If you don't want to move to this area or you don't live in this area, you know, you can look in your local area. Maybe this will give you some ideas as to what to look at and what to look for. Or maybe you can call some of these companies and see if they know anybody that's hiring where you live, because a lot of oil field's a small world. Pretty much everybody knows everybody, so they might know of, hey, you know, I know a guy or I know a company over there. You can try, give these guys a call. So don't be afraid to reach out there and talk to these guys and see what's going on and fill them out. I appreciate all of you for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Y'all take care, stay safe, and keep trucking.